All right, we did single area OSPF. Now we're going to do multiple area OSPF. But like I told you at the beginning, the first area that we're going to start is area 0. That's the one we need to bring up first. Once area 0 is brought up, then we can bring up all the other areas. And you see what's going to happen. I'll see you inside the lab. All right, here we are in our lab once more. But now the lab looks a little slightly different. We added 2 more routers. That means 2 more networks were added. And we're still going to do OSPF, but as you can see, we're going to be doing multiple area OSPF. You have area 0. These 2 interfaces will participate in area 0, just as these 2 interfaces will also. And then these 2 interfaces here are going to be in area 1, and these 2 are going to be in area 1. And since, well, what happens at that point is that this becomes an ABR, an autonomous border router, okay? And but again, you can be directly connected to area 0 or indirectly connected to area 0. Anything further than this router right here, you will need something called and I'll show you when I get in there because the name escapes me, but so you can go ahead and be able to tell it, hey, I exist, I need the updates as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start configuring. Now, the first thing you need to configure is area 0. That's the first area that needs to come up. So we're going to go to router 2. We know the both networks, which is the 10114 and the 10118. So let's go to router 2. And I already took out the previous configuration as far as the routing protocol. All right, so router, OSPF 1, network, 10.1.1.4, 0003, area 0. And then we're going to up arrow. And then we're going to change this to 8. All right, those are 2 networks that I am currently attached to. I'm going to do WR to copy the information. Obviously, you can't do that. Now we go back to our lab here. We're going to go now to router 1. Now, router 1 is in 2 areas. The F00 is in area 0. The F10 is in area 1. Okay, so let's go to router 1. Okay, so we will conf t router. I can't spell router. Router OSPF 1. Network 10.1.1.4. This is the one that's in area 0. So we put it that way. And now, you know, you're going to get an adjacency. So just wait for it. Wait for it. All right, it's taking a sweet time. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to up arrow again. I just wanted for it to in the middle of my typing. And then now I got to change the area, which is area 1. And then it's going to be 0 because that's the network that I placed there. The 0 network, the 10.1.1.0 network. But it's in area 1. And I'm going to do WR there. Okay. All right. So now that we got that done, let's go ahead and let's do, let's do router 3, where the F10 is in the 0 area and the F00 it's in area 2. Okay. So the 8 network is in the area 0 and the 12 network is in area 2. So let's go to router 3, config T or conf T, router, OSPF, 1, network, 10.1.1.8, 0003, area 0, and we're going to get an adjacency. Oh, I got it there quicker than the one before. And then the next network is in area 2, but it's the 12. All right, do WR. And then we're to look at our routing table at this point. Do a show IP route. You see that now we have something called an inter-area because it's learning about the 10.1.1.0 from router 1, or from this particular router. Let me see if it's router 1. from router 1. It's learning about that particular interface, the F10 interface. So we have an inter-area router because it's going from the area border router. It's not coming, it's not an ASBR, which is an autonomous system border router, which would be another routing protocol or the internet. That's where the ASBRs would be. This would be an ABR. So it's already learning about that particular area. Okay. And as you can see, it's 3 hops away, the 10110. That's the only one it knows about at this point. But still, we're not done. Right? We got 2 routers beneath us. And if you look at it, we have router 4 and router 5. They already have their IP addresses. All we need to put is their interface in that particular area. So let's go to router 4. Now, if we go to router 4, we're going to do a show IP route. You can see that he doesn't know about anything. There's no OSPF configured whatsoever. All right, so config T, router, OSPF, 1, network, or net, 10.1.1.0, that's the network that's in. And then you have 0003, and that is area 1. Okay, and we should get an adjacency here. There we go, do WR. And let's go now to the other router, which is router 5. He's in the 12 network, that F10 interface. So let's go ahead and put him in area 2. So let's go to router 5. And go conf T, router, OSPF, 1, network, 10.1.1.12, 0003, area 2. Enter. Do WR, and you see we're getting full loading done, which is a good thing. So now if I were to look at the routing table of router 5, let's clear all the gibberish off the screen. Show IP int brief. Brief. Show IP route. There you go. Okay. Show IP route. Come on, fingers. Work for me. And there you go. It's learning about all the areas, the 10.1.1.4 and the 10.1.1.0. All right. Obviously, it's learning it through our ABR. All right, which is 10.1.1.13 on our particular interface. Okay. And the same thing goes with this network right here. We're learning it from the same ABR on our particular interface. And just to prove that we have connectivity, we're going to ping 10.1.1.5, or 10.1.1.1, I should say. And we do have full connectivity. But now we have inter-area OSPF. Anything beyond that, if you were to add routers beyond that ABR, beyond router 5, if I go to router, config T, router OSPF 1. This is a question mark here. Okay, there will be something that you need to change. Okay, it will be starting with the area command. You say area, and the area that you're traversing, let's say it will be area, in this case 2, and then you would put the the virtual link, okay, and it will be the router ID number. I'll question mark that. It will be, or an IP address. It will be the IP address or router ID, which would be the router ID of the router you're connected to, your neighbor's router ID in the form of an IP address. That's if you go beyond router 5 or router 6. But since these routers are connected to directly to the area border router, there's no need for that. They learned it automatically because they're connected to it, like if they were directly connected to it, right? Through the ABR. So they're learning everything about area 0 and of course area 1 and area 2 and all that because they're directly connected to these ABRs. Anything beyond that, you need to use the area command within router configuration, router OSPF configuration, and use what's called the virtual link using your neighbor's router ID in the form of an IP address. And how would you find that? How would you find that? Let's go to router 1. Let's say you need to know the router ID of that particular router. How would you see that? Well, you can do a show IP OSPF database, and you would see the router ID right here. It's 10115. So that router ID will be your virtual link. That will be your virtual link that you would put on that particular router. And as you can see, that this router, by doing the show IP OSPF database, is running area 0 and area 1 as well. And it gives you the IP addresses, and really that's all you really need to know, the age of how long it's learned, because these could be questions that can come up. So the show IP OSPF database, it's a very important command. It will show you not only your router ID, but what areas is your router connected to, and the age, how long has it learned that particular route. But again, very simple. This is a very simplistic multiple area OSPF. I don't think it's going to get more than that, but we'll continue configuring as we go, and we'll see what we get. I'll see you outside the lab. All right, that was not bad at all. Pretty simple. All right, since we're connected, remember now this becomes the ABR, the area border router, which is connected to the backbone. So once we configured this particular area, it already knew about all the other areas, okay? If you go beyond that, like I said, you will need to go inside router OSPF1, do area, whatever area you need to traverse, virtual link, and then your neighbor's router ID. That will be the, if you had another router, but we don't. This is a very simple multiple area OSPF. Anything beyond that, then you need to do your virtual links. But I doubt that for the CCNA, they're going to go ahead and do that. Just be aware with multiple area. Remember, this router is in 2 areas. This interface is in area 0. This interface is in area 1. And that what did that create? What do we see in our routing table? Inter-area routers, because we're within our area, okay? So then the same thing happened over here. We had inter-area routes that we're learning from, okay? And those LSAs will change. Those LSAs will change from inter-area, or if they're coming from an exterior source, okay? Depending if they're type 1 or type 2, but again, going outside the scope of the CCNA, okay? But this is your multiple area OSPF. Very simple. See you in the next.